All right, well, welcome back, everybody, to the Raider Roster Report. This is Raider Sparks. We'll come at you with another video today. Hope everybody's enjoying the channel. If you could, please like, share, subscribe to the video if you like it. Definitely share it, but more importantly, add your comments. Love to hear what everybody has to say. I think I'm going to do today's show a little bit broader, more NFL centric regarding the quarterbacks, specifically, I guess, the top 6, maybe 7 quarterbacks, and what I think are the best landing spots for the quarterbacks themselves. Usually kind of talk about what's best for the teams and kind of what they are looking for. But I kind of wanted to take a step back after the combine, just kind of take a look at what might be best for the player. Of course, add in why it's a good fit for the team as well. And I think draft position has a lot to do with it. Obviously, the Derek Carr signings and Geno Smith signings are huge. It looks like Lamar's going to get tagged. It's kind of looking that direction. He might already by the time I film this video. And so some of the dominoes are starting to fall. And I think the Carr situation, I think for New Orleans' point of view, just kind of looking over the landscape of the draft, things like that. Drafting 29th, they weren't going to get one of these top quarterbacks. So, I mean, they had to pull the trigger there. So I think that was a big domino. And then obviously Geno Smith, I didn't think he was going to sign 3 years. It's probably more like a 2-year deal. I'm sure there's an out, but I thought it was going to be more like a 1 year or franchise even. But so yeah, that kind of changed the landscape of the draft a little bit. It kind of where we kind of project some of the guys to go. But like I said, this isn't what I would do, or this isn't. For Raider fans, don't get mad at me because it's going to be somewhat of a surprise. But I'm really doing it more of a pick that's best for what I think the landing spot for the player specifically. And so, yeah, we'll get started. First of all, I think the Bears, they need to trade out of that pick. There's no reason to have the first pick. In fact, they need to trade back a couple times and get as many top 100 picks as they can and as many draft picks as they can for the next year, because they're picking first for a reason. They're not very good. They need to get as much young talent as possible, and they can get a haul if they're smart, and they trade back with Houston and trade back again with the Panthers or the Colts, and then even trade back again if they have to. You're the last team picking first overall, so obviously you have a lot of holes you need to fill. So that's what I would do with them, and I think Houston comes up to number 1 to get Bryce Young. I just think it makes too much sense. I mean, with DeMarco Ryans has really put together a solid staff. I mean, Bobby Slovic with that offense, San Francisco offense. Bryce Young, it's all rhythm and timing, and that's what he does, is accurate. And it's a perfect combination for a lot of reasons. The playing style on that offense, Bryce Young is really perfect for. And I think there's more to that San Francisco offense. Obviously, they got Trey Lance, and so I think there's more to the offense with the mobile quarterback, and Bryce Young is that as well. So, I mean, you could really untap him in that type of a system. Not only that, but I mean, it's as Raider fans, Josh McDaniels has been reported to be in love with Bryce Young. But the funny thing is, the passing game coordinator in Houston is his brother, Ben McDaniels. So, I mean, if one brother loves him, I'm guessing the other does too. And so I think that's another reason. But also the offensive assistants that DeMarco Ryans brought in, it was really smart. He brought in Shane Day, who developed Justin Herbert. And then he brought in Bill Lazar, who's the OC with the Bears, for Justin Fields. So, I mean, having the best of both worlds there. 2 modern-day quarterbacks, one more of a pocket passer, one a mobile quarterback. And so to have that for Bryce Young to feed off of, it was just a great situation for him. Not to mention his teammate, which I think is a real thing with John Mechie there. Basically, John Mechie starting his rookie season because he was hurt all last year. And that's a real thing. I mean, you look at Burrow and Chase. You look at Smith and Hurts there in Philly. And Waddle and Tua, those combinations are, becoming sort of a trend, I guess, and it really is effective. So I think I like that. And Damon Pierce, the young running back, and then you got Nico Collins there as well. And then DeMarco Ryans is going to put together a good defense. So I think not only for those reasons, but the number 1 pick. I mean, you're looking at a Heisman Trophy winner. He's national championship. I mean, if anybody can handle being the number 1 overall pick, it's Bryce Young. He's playing in Alabama at quarterback with Nick Saban and the pressure that is. And so I just think the moment is his, and it should be most likely him. I mean, I think the combine, couple guys made a push, with the athleticism, with AR and the accuracy and poise and everything else of CJ Stroud. But I just think right now, getting over Deshaun Watson, you need that playmaking quarterback that can do everything, the mobility and the name that comes with it. I just think it's a great fit for everybody, and the staff that's been put together is really, really solid there for Bryce Young. So that's what I would do with that. Next, CJ Stroud. I think the best landing spot for him, and it would be tough, would be the Jets for a couple reasons. I think the Jets were in the Carr sweepstakes and the Rodgers sweepstakes. I definitely think they're trying to get pocket presence, a pocket type passer. And I just think with Stroud going there, Nathaniel Hackett's the OC, obviously worked with Rodgers. I think there's some similarities with Stroud and Rodgers. I think that, they're very good pocket passers, but Rodgers has that ability to maneuver the pocket, maneuver, scramble, and I think Stroud has that in him as well. What I don't want for Stroud is for him to go to a team that's looking for a triple threat or a dual threat, I guess, quarterback, because we saw it in the Georgia game that he has the ability to do it, but I just want it to be more organic, and so I want him to go somewhere that values the pocket passer, and I think that's what the Jets want with Robert Saleh coming from San Francisco. It just seems like that's kind of the direction that they're going in, and they have a great young team. I mean, they had a great draft last year, and so even though they're picking 13, I think for them to move up is realistic because they had such a great draft last year. And I mean, with Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, just phenomenal. And then getting back with his teammate Garrett Wilson, again, another huge thing I think would be phenomenal. I just think that's the right fit for him. And he was great with the media at the combine. I think he would have no problem in New York handling the media. And that team is ready to win. Plus, I just think they have. I was gonna go with the Saints too with Chris Olave, but I think the Jets would be perfect for him. And they need a quarterback to start right away. Like Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, these guys are gonna, wherever they go, they're starting right away, and so there's no true sort of competition there. I think that's just the right call. Plus the Jets have a few guys they need to sign next year, and with a rookie quarterback and all these rookies that are contributing at a high level, they'd be able to sign the guys that they need to sign for next year as well. So that's the landing spot there for him. For Anthony Richardson, I really think the Colts would be the perfect solution. Picking at 4 is a kind of a prime spot to pick him. Shane Steichen, with the work that he did, now he's the Eagles OC, but look at the work that he did with Jalen Hurts. I mean, the biggest thing with Hurts was his accuracy, and to bring in a guy with accuracy issues. I don't know if Anthony Richardson, it's accuracy issues or it's just a lack of playing time. I think he's only started like 13 games. He's only played like 19 or 22 games, however you want to look at it. And then compare that with Jalen Hurts is like over 50 collegiate games. So it's such a huge difference in reps. And I'm not sure it's the accuracy issue or just playing time. And so he needs playing time. And I think if there are accuracy issues or just game planning as well for a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, and you get a game plan in place for Anthony Richardson. Plus, I like the fact that look at the Colts, quarterback room right now. I don't know if it's going to stay this way, but Matt Ryan, Nick Foles, that's so much experience right there that could help Anthony Richardson, sort of prepare for the game and get ready to play, and make it a situation where. Me personally, I would want Anthony Richardson to start right away. A lot of people don't, but I'm of the camp that get him out there and play because he needs reps, and the only way he's going to get it is to play. But you want him to go to a situation where you don't have to have him play right away, and so you have veterans there that can step in and play if need be, or better case scenario, help prepare him to play and get him out there on the field. And then they do have a young guy they like, or they say they like, in Sam Ehlinger, but I mean. The best part about it is they have Jonathan Taylor, and so you can run a lot of play action and really take the pressure off Anthony Richardson. So I just think the Colts are a great spot with Shane Steichen and what his work with Jalen Hurts, and would be phenomenal for Anthony Richardson to go there. I think Will Levis to the Panthers makes a lot of sense for him with Frank Wright. You know, he's always had that big quarterback. Andrew Luck, big, Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, more of a pocket passers with a little bit of mobility with Luck, but mainly pocket passers. And they brought in the OC Thomas Brown, who did a lot of work with as an assistant coach there with Matthew Stafford. And I think the comp to Matthew Stafford and Will Levis is pretty good. They're about the same size and big arms. A lot of the same skill set, it seems like. Seems like a lot of the personality, very confident people. And so the work that he did with Matthew Stafford, I think, would be a good fit with Will Levis there. I think Will Levis is, the Panthers, he'd be their starting quarterback right away. So, I mean, I think he's another guy that I know I hear that people say that he needs to sit. I don't think so. I mean, personally, I think the board's going to fall. He's going to end up a Raider. And so, in that situation, yeah, it'd be great. You had Stidham and him to compete, and he could sit. But I think he goes to the Panthers. He starts right away. And, having Frank Wright gone through everything as a quarterback himself is a great spot. Having a guy that's worked with Matthew Stafford with the same skill set to put an offense together for Will Levis, I think would be tremendous. I just think that would be a great fit for him. I think Hendon Hooker, originally I was going to say Seattle because I thought Geno was going to be a one-year deal. But, I think the Bucs might be a great spot for him. They brought in Dave Canales, which is sort of a Shane Waldron offense, which is really a lot of shotgun, but a lot of pistol formation. I think that would be great for Hendon Hooker. They're be in a situation where, accuracy and ball security are, so important to that offense. And Geno Smith, they got the best in that offense out of Geno Smith. They got ball security, they got accuracy, and I think they could do the same with Hendon Hooker. Not only that, but I think the Bucs, they value that pocket presence. Obviously, they had Brady coming off of Brady, but get some more mobility at the quarterback position would be great. The receiving core they have, they say they're not trading Godwin or Evans. And so for a rookie to come in and play with those guys, and then they have Kyle Trask. So he doesn't necessarily need to start right away. They say they like Trask, but you would have a great competition there at quarterback, and just depending on his health, if he could go right away. But I just think the offensive setup, running so much pistol formation and having a good running back in White, Rachaad White there, with Tampa Bay, I think it's a perfect fit. I think they Bucs picked 19, so I don't think that's out of the question. I think Hendon Hooker is going in the first round. Where in the first round? Probably later in the first round, but 19 I don't think is out of the question. And so, I mean, I see him possibly going to the Raiders too, with a trade back and getting back into the first round or something like that. I think would be a good fit. So anyways, yeah. So that's kind of what I have for that. And then the next one would be Tanner McGee. I think he's a perfect fit for, his best fit would be for the Raiders. I don't think he's a perfect fit for the Raiders. I think his best fit would be for the Raiders, just because Josh McDaniels. I mean, the combine wasn't great to Tanner McGee, and nobody thought it was going to be. His throwing drills weren't as impressive either. But I think for me, obviously, yeah, Brady, Garoppolo, Mac Jones, Matt Castle, none of these guys tested well. And so if you just look at history, what Josh McDaniels has worked with and what he's done with guys that don't do well at the combine, it's the perfect fit. He's a true pocket passer. He's not not that mobile. He can slide a little bit, but what he does best and what I watched was Sanjeet with the Raiders channel. He put out a great video with Stidham in the 49er game and broke down the offense. And when you looked at the plays that Stidham was asked to make, some rollouts, a lot of tight end, two tight end formations, and just the windows he was throwing into, the type of passes he's having to throw. And then you turn on Stanford, you almost see the same exact thing. They'd ask him to roll out, drop it into the tight end. A lot of two tight ends, 21 personnel, 12 personnel, 22 personnel. A lot of tight formations, a lot of things the Raiders do. Tanner McGee was asked to do. Just change the launch point, move a little bit, just enough, and those types of things. And so when you watch Stidham play and you watch Tanner McGee play, what they're asked to do is very, very similar. Ziegler talked about being under center as a skill, and Will Levis is the one that does it the most in this draft. That's why I kind of think the board, it's all kind of lining up for Will Levis to be the Raiders quarterback. But Tanner McGee also is another quarterback that has tape actually being under center, which is rare. And he actually looked good doing it. The other guy I was going to throw in here was Aiden O'Connell out of Purdue. Not quite as big as Tanner McGee, but similar skill set. Their offense occasionally would go under center, so there's a little tape with that. They don't run as tight of formations, but they pass a lot. They do some similar things to the Raiders. But he's another guy that would probably fit that sort of not great tester. He had a better day throwing the ball than Tanner McGee. And so I think Tanner McGee or Aiden O'Connell, either one of those two guys would be really a good fits for them would be to go to the Raiders just because of the history Josh McDaniels has had. So that's what I have for the quarterbacks. Hope you liked the video. Please comment, subscribe, share. Let me know what you think the best fits are for these quarterbacks. And then just with the Raiders, I mean, hopefully, who knows what's lining up. I'm still kind of holding out that we're going to get that veteran quarterback because I still think we're in win now mode. I mean, you don't have Davante Adams, you don't tag Josh Jacobs, so at least you would do an exclusive tag, so you could trade him. You don't do those types of things. You don't give Derek Carr a no trade clause, in the contract that they gave him. If the plan wasn't to rebuild, I mean, if you're going to go with a young quarterback, whatever you do, do not restructure a bunch of guys to push money off. Take the hit now. Get yourself 2 or 3 defensive players that are in their prime going into their second contracts. Lock them up with the money this year and then go big next year. You have your rookie quarterback in place for another year. Go big next year in free agency. Go big this year in free agency. Get 2 or 3, sign them to long-term deals that are in their starting their second contracts. On the defensive side of the ball, do not restructure these guys unless you want to do max or free up a little bit of money with Davante. Other than that, don't go restructuring Chandler Jones. Take the hit this year, move on next year, and those types of things. But if you're going to go the veteran quarterback, restructure everybody, get as many free agents you can on defense in here, and try to build that up and go for the Super Bowl, with Rodgers. If that happens, if Brady wants to come back, if you do any of those things, spend your first couple draft picks on your defense and do it that way. So that's all I got. I mean, I was listening to some of the YouTubers last night talking about the restructures and things like that, which I'm all for the restructures if we're going with a veteran quarterback and going for the Super Bowl. I'm definitely not for it if we're going for a rookie quarterback. There's no reason to do it unless you want to do max because he's your long-term guy. If you're going to go with a rookie quarterback, get Josh, keep him happy, keep him in the locker room, keep the balance, but definitely get 2 or 3 defenders that are coming in their second contracts in their prime, sign them long-term, and then the restructures, take the hit this year, go big next year in free agency because you'll have a ton of money with a rookie quarterback, having 1 year under his belt of action. So that's what I would do for the plan. But anyways, please like, share, subscribe to the video. And definitely want to hear your comments and that type of thing. So thanks a lot. This is Raider Sparks with the Raider Roster Report. And I'll start getting more draft content now that the combine's over. We'll be able to take a look and focus in on some draft prospects a little bit more. And so that's kind of what we're doing. But also free agency is going to heat up hot and heavy here pretty soon. So stay tuned for all that good stuff. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.